in the long liver organ, between the red kidney beans, in a red cell cottage, lives Falsey, 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 the Plasmodium parasite.
Chapter 4. And so the artemether lumefantrine drugs pushed Falsey, the Plasmodium parasite, into a deep, dark, scary part of the liver, when who should appear but the badly infected strep throat cell from the day before. "I thought I killed you," said Falsey, very plasmodially.
"No, Falsey, you didn't kill me. I swam to safety. But you did leave me very badly infected,"
laughed the strep throat cell. "Oh, those horrible villagers pushed me up into this horrible part of the liver. I think it's because I'm so hatefully plasmodal."
"No, Falsey, it's not because you're so hatefully plasmodal. It's because we're different."
And then Falsey didn't feel so hatefully plasmodal anymore. But it didn't matter, because the Lonart drugs of artemether and lumefantrine were hot on his tail, and Falsey ran for his life, screaming, "Ah!" But it didn't matter. The Lonart drugs caught him and killed him. Dead, dead, dead. And the strep throat cell suffered a similar fate. And Adam's body recovered and lived happily ever after.
So what the heck happened to me? Well, I got some mild strep throat and some mild malaria. It's probably those dang elephants from the week before. Actually, it's probably because I was working too hard. So much to do, so much to do. It's awesome. So, number 1. This is my rating. 1, you need a hospital. 8 means you can work hard. 3 is like you're so tired you just want to sleep on the road when you're walking home. The week before, I was at like 50% effectiveness for a solid week, and my throat was starting to hurt. Then Wednesday evening is when it kind of really ramped up into not so great.
Feeling pretty sick. Fever, headache, muscle pain. You know what it's like. I think the thing that tipped me off most was that the rapidity in the increase in muscle pain, and probably headache too. So I popped my Lonart.
That's right, I was self-medicating, but I used my thermometer to check my temperature, felt pretty good about my decision. Clinic would have done the same thing, and the side effects of the drugs are not serious. Thursday morning, I woke up feeling better, but still bad, so I decided to take the day off and rest. Some friends from work and not from work came to visit me, which was really nice, and Madame Mary took very good care of me. Thursday afternoon, I was starting to feel a bit worse, and I spent the day horizontal, just resting, sometimes in my bed net inside, sometimes in my bed net in the compound outside for fresh air. Still feeling lighthearted. Thursday evening, I was a bit ticked off that I was feeling worse instead of better, but I was still positive. I was thinking, "Malaria, you're going to be sorry you ever set foot in my liver." Ha!
I went to the clinic for my sore throat. Told them I feel like I have malaria, and yeah, it's pretty relaxed. They were gonna dash me or give me the consultation for free, which is 2 Ganasses, which is very nice. Yeah, I'm just exhausted, and I don't want to eat. Yeah, so it's just like, just feel like crap. There's nothing horrible. I've had way worse than this. Way worse.
Definitely starting to feel better, and I spent the evening watching some TED Talks to entertain myself until my battery died because the lights went out in the city for 24 hours. But one of the interesting things about malaria is that a lot of people seem to have bed nets but don't use them. My host family, for example, knows that malaria is caused by mosquitoes, has 2 bed nets, but uses neither of them because they are not used to using them, and it's a pain in the butt. So I'm working with them to try to make it easier for them to start using them, because they have a son, Zachariah, who's 1 year old, And my understanding is that it's most dangerous to children at his stage in life. And so it definitely worries me. Saturday, I just rested just like the day before, but Sunday, I was up and feeling fine. So I went to meet a farmer group with Madame Florence, an AEA, an excellent one at that. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. After the farmer group meeting, they gave us a gift of P2, which is like a fermented drink with a small percentage of alcohol. And we drank it from calabash bowls, which are like kind of like wooden pumpkins you cut in half. What would you say is the moral of this story? I would say it's take your meds early. You can wait it out and make sure you have malaria, but 1 or 2 pairs of underwear are going to suffer a tragic fate. Trust me, I have friends here that have done it. Don't fear malaria. Fear hangovers. Probably half of you listening to this have done way worse to yourselves than my malaria just by going out on the night. So don't fear malaria. Don't fear coming to Ghana. Fear the bar. Come to Ghana. Man, it's a good time. I cannot wait for the day when every child, every woman, and every man experience malaria as easily as I just did, without fear of cerebral damage, or worse, where they have enough money and information to afford full treatment and prevention methods. Actually, scrap that. Scrap all of that. I can't wait for the day when people in Ghana experience malaria as easily as you do. But this is not a trip of guilt, but one of hope. Hope for the young Zachariah, that he grows up into a young, healthy man. It does not become one of the other millions of statistics. And I do see hope, whether it is in the loving arms of his hardworking mother, Hawa, or in the children of the families of my friends Bolu and Takara, all of whom sleep with their parents underneath protective bed nets. And there is plenty more hope all around, if you just stop to look for it, or if the bloody news would just report it. Yes, the issue of malaria is a very complicated one, but there is hope, and where there is hope and people who are working hard with their hearts and minds, there is nothing that we can't do. So I'm asking you, what will you do to help build that hope? And I know that Homer J. Simpson will tell you that trying is the first step to failure, and he's right. But I would also say that if you never try, then you have done worse, far worse than failed. F-, because you will never have known what would have happened if you had simply tried. If you are with family and friends, having fun and building hope, all the while you are trying to help others, you'll be helping yourself, you'll be building your own life. And I can tell you from experience, this is what has happened for me. Now you can think big, you can think small, you can think globally, you can think locally. The choice is yours, but don't just think. What will you do?